Yes, people, welcome back to another stream, man. It's another XLB stream, and today we've got loads of stuff to talk about, man. Gabriel Jesus has been chatting absolute nonsense yet again. It is City versus Liverpool this weekend, so we'll have a little talk about that. And there's actually a massive, but no one's really speaking about it, man. But I'm actually buzzing to watch this. Spurs versus Villa this weekend as well, with a huge top four clash. Guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream if you've not done so already, man. Nearly 100 people in already. Let's get those likes past at least 50, man. 7 people to get to 50 likes. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you check out the second channel, man. More LB. Today, me and Judge Mo spent 25 minutes recording a video, which has been uploaded, looking in detail at the Liverpool game this Saturday. Go and check it out. Link is in the description. I'm joined today, by Dan Potts, host of Football's 12th Man podcast, and someone who's probably going to have some interesting comments on Gabriel Jesus being an Arsenal fan. Dan, how you doing, bro? You good, man?
Yeah, very well, man. Absolutely. Listen, first of all, big up to you for hosting 12th Man while I was away. Much appreciated that, brother. And good to be back, man. And great to be back on your show. Great to see your channel smashing it, man. So big up.
Cheers, bro. Cheers. D, what are you saying, man? You good?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on, bro. Sorry I'm a bit late. But yeah, man, I'm excited that football's finally back. International football. Let's not even talk about it.
Yeah, don't just avoid that. Now, you know what? I got to thank all three of you, man, for jumping on at like late notice. I've been busy and I've not had time to message people. And I was going to do a solo stream. I was like, I don't want to do a solo stream, so I messaged you, and you all come on like at last minute. Dan United. You know what, bro? I've not planned for us to have any sort of debates today. So hopefully, bro, we can get on today.
It's look, anything can happen, mate. Anything can happen. I think we had a bit to say yesterday. So hopefully today it's love. It's love.
And it's your birthday as well.
Yes, mate.
Happy birthday, man. Guys, happy birthdays in the chat for Dan United, bro. He's coming on his birthday.
What never knew that.
What a gift to jump on a City fans channel. I know you're just going to talk about City here, but it's a birthday gift for a City fan to talk about his trebles and his net and all of that.
You know what I'll do? As a birthday treat, I'll try not to speak about Ten Hag or United. I'll try not to mention treble. How's that? Yeah, that's all right.
Perfect, mate. Perfect. Thank you.
Big up, though. Big up yourself, bro. Right, Dan, I want to come to you first of all, mate. What is your main striker talking about? Gabriel Jesus. Yeah, you signed him for what? Best part 50 million quid or something like that. He was meant to be the one to lead you to success. He said some weird stuff in the summer, I can't lie. You know what I mean? When he sort of said, like, oh, we all kind of knew that we weren't going to win the league when Saliba got injured. That's weird. And now on international break, he's now talking about the fact that he doesn't think his main attribute, he's not very good at like scoring goals. That's not something that he focuses on. What is going on at your football club, bro? Why are your players saying such weird things, man?
Yeah, he's had a stinker, man. He's had a stinker. Let me just bring the actual comments up because I've got sent it. I think Sam sent it on one of the.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Quote. So the full quote are: there are things that I don't control. I train, I try, I move, I help the team. The goal is inevitable. I believe it's not my strong point, but I do score goals, and I'm there to score goals. When I come back, it will happen. It's work. I work quietly. I'm not one to respond to criticism. I'm not one to be happy for praise. I was, but I won't be anymore. One is confusing. I don't know if there's a bit of lost in translation to what he's trying to say. I think what he's trying to say is I can improve my goal scoring, but it hasn't come across like that. I think what he's come across and said is made himself look a bit of a wally, to be fair. I've always said with Gabriel Jesus that I like his work rate, and I think most City fans did as well. I think most City fans appreciated that he was a top talent, but they had to replace him because they needed a killer in the box. And I believe after a couple of years of seeing Gabriel Jesus that we're the same. The other thing that we've got, because he's playing more games at Arsenal, he's getting injured a lot more. I don't know how injured he was at City, but I know Aguero was always playing ahead of him. So I don't know that he played that much. But to say that, it ain't for me, scoring goals is not something that I'm very good at, as what people are saying. I'm not so sure if it was what he'd said, but it's come across really poorly, man.
Is he lying, though?
Say again?
He's right, though. That's not his strongest point. That's why when
he's not lying. It's not. You don't say that with DBR.
I thought it was an improvement to what you had because of what he does on the ball and off the ball. But Jesus was never going to be that guy. If he couldn't do it at City, well, he did score goals at City, but when City didn't have a striker, even then he was still on a bench at times you know, for City. I never thought he would be that guy in the first place. I think he'll be an improvement, but if you want to reach the next level, you have to find another striker. And I think that is the case. Like, that's not his strongest point. He's not even lying.
No, I don't think he's lying, but you don't come out as a professional footballer and say that, do you? Do you know what I mean?
Not even a professional footballer.
It's like Saliba coming out and saying, I'm not really great at defending, but I can pass the ball. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, I'm a good passer of the football, but defending's not really my game. Like, if Saliba said that, he'd be like, what? So it's basically what he's saying there. It's a madness statement. It's a stupid thing to say. All I will say is that there is something that I think has been a little bit lost in translation. When you read the quote, it still don't sound good, even the whole full quote. But it sounds a lot better than the one that you brought up a minute ago, LB, which says, "I can't score goals," whatever it was. So I don't know that that's the case. But I do think that it sounds silly, man. And
to be fair, bro, Dan, to be fair, it's from a Brazilian account, like, so they've translated it. Yeah. So you know, I don't, like you say, it might be lost in translation. I just think it's weird. I just don't know why he's saying that. And why would you say that? You know, because he must be aware, Dan, that like there's rumours going around that Arsenal want a new striker, potentially Ivan Toney. We don't know if that's going to happen, but that's obviously a rumour. So surely, if you're a striker and he wants to play striker, he said that when he was at City. Surely you got to be gassing yourself up. You know what I mean? And I don't really know why he's coming out with that. To be honest, Dan United, what's your sort of take on this, bro?
It's weird because I mean we're so used to strikers having chest, aren't we, and saying I'm going to score goals regardless. So I kind of see what Potts is saying. I do think it is. I think he's tried to explain himself, and it's just completely backfired. And I think it's come across the complete wrong way. But I think Arsenal are looking solid now. You know, they got a striker that's saying this, and they got Kai Havertz, the new left back. Zinchenko must be absolutely.
I love Havertz. I have to say, I forgot to mention it on Potts' show today. Havertz, thank you for playing left back. He gave Turkey a penalty. We beat Germany for the first time in how many years? Was it like 70 years or something? It can't be. It's something crazy like that. But all down to Havertz. So thank you to Kai Havertz, left back, because that penalty.
You won't hear me biting on that, man. I can't stand him. I think he's awful. So you won't have me biting on that. He's kind of a left wing back for Germany now. It's mad, isn't it?
What's left? Centre back and goalie, right? We're just going back and back and back.
I think probably goalie, because centre back he was probably playing a lot against Turkey. So I reckon goalkeeper is the only one now, man. I don't know. I don't want to go into the Kai Havertz thing again, because I feel like I speak about it every show. But I've given up with him. I'm done with him. I'd rather have signed Mason Mount, and he's been poor at United. I just think it's terrible, man. Absolutely terrible. But Jesus, let's be real, LB, right? We want to try and get ahead of City. So why did we get the striker that you didn't want? You know, that's a real point. That's a real question. A lot of people will laugh at that and go, "You're joking. Jesus has been unreal." I really do like Jesus, by the way, and I think he's a top player. But it ain't enough to win you a title. You're going to need a Tony. You're going to need an Osimhen. You're going to need somebody ahead of that to compete with Jesus. And he's always injured.
But it's another one. Sorry, D. Another one is you've brought in Havertz and Jesus to score goals, haven't you? I mean, Havertz obviously is a little bit deeper, but you've brought these two players in to score goals, and then you could quite easily go out there and get a striker that could probably outscore the pair of them. 100%. And then it comes back to have they just been a massive waste of money and waste of transfers bringing them in the first place?
If that is a question, which is a legitimate question, whose fault is that? But then again, and this is the thing, you know, everyone says, "Oh, you just don't like Arteta, you just want to sack him." That's not the case. I want Arteta to go and win trebles and quadruples at my club, right? But you just have to say it as it is. Is signing Fabio Vieira and Kai Havertz for 100 million a good move? Is signing that and paying that amount of money for those two players a good move? When you like to say, Dan, you want money. Is the only striker you buy at Arsenal in 4.5 years is Man City's backup striker?
Yeah, but it made sense at the time. It made sense at the time.
It did make sense at the time. We need more than that. Signing was not the issue, but you got
the title talk with Arsenal has only just happened recently. It started last year. Before then, it was top 4. We have to try and reach the top. But like you kind of exceeded expectations last season. Because I'll be honest, last season, going into the season, no one was talking about Arsenal. Even Arsenal fans, apart from the 1 or 2, that's always thinking Arsenal's going to compete for the title. We're not talking about Arsenal actually going to potentially win the league. That wasn't a conversation. I think the Jesus signing, there wasn't anything wrong with it. But from the moment he joined, it was clear. He's not going to... like. He was at City with the likes of De Bruyne and the Silvers. All of them created plays. And despite that, they still needed another striker. So it was clear that Jesus will not be able to deliver you the goals to win the title. But your objective when he did join wasn't to go for the title. I think Jesus was a solid signing, but there was always, if Arsenal want to go and win the league, that conversation, even when he did join, you will always have to bring in another better quality striker. But at the time, I don't think it's right to go and blame Arteta for bringing in Jesus, because remember, you was fighting 8th and 5th.
No, I said Kai Havertz. I said Kai Havertz, man.
Okay.
Kai Havertz.
But Jesus, though, it makes sense at the time, but now I think it's a perfect opportunity for you to improve. Because I think Jesus, he has a ceiling. He's not that clinical striker. For me, anyways, for Arsenal to go and make.
All I will say is we're kind of shitting on Jesus as a player here, when really we should be shitting on his comments. Do you know what I'm saying? Because actually, he's not been a bad player for Arsenal. He ain't been a bad player for Arsenal.
The reason why I'm not shitting on Jesus as a player. I think Jesus is brilliant on and off the ball. I think he delivers a lot, and that's why I think it was an improvement at the time for Jesus to join Arsenal. But my biggest thing with Jesus has been from the start, and it will be until he changes, which I don't think he will be, is that he won't be able to score enough goals for you to win the title. I don't think he's that kind of striker, but I think he does everything else perfectly. His build-up play, he's dribbling, he's off-ball pressure as well. I know some City fans will disagree, but I think for Arsenal, like he's got that all in his locker. But for me, as a striker, you also have to score the goals if you want to win the league. Remember, you're going for the title against the likes of City and Liverpool. And for me, I don't think Jesus is that guy. He's 100%. I'll still keep him in the squad. But I think you need someone that's a bit more proven in the Premier League. That
totally that guy, dude.
And he should come off the bench, maybe.
Tony.
I think Tony. I would go if I was Arsenal. I would go for Tony. The reason for that is you score it in Brentford. He's been scoring goals. He's also a different kind of player to Jesus as well in terms of his build-up play, physically stronger. I think Tony makes perfect sense. You can have Tony and Jesus as a combination. You can change it up depending on the opposition you're facing. I think Jesus is a very good footballer, but as a striker, in terms of getting you the goals, maybe Tony can actually close that gap in that way. So I think it makes perfect sense. I think Jesus is brilliant, but he's not going to. You still need something better in front of goal if you want to win the title. But I don't know.
What sounds better as well? So what sounds better for an Arsenal fan? Jesus and Nketiah, or Jesus with Tony? It changes your attack.
That's what I think as well.
Doesn't it? Having Jesus playing across that front three, you can slot in anywhere, or being that backup, it completely changes the way that Arsenal attack. I
That's
think
depth, that, isn't it? You start to look at that and go, you know what? They've got Trossard, Martinelli on the left. They've got Jesus and Tony up top, and Jesus can also play on the right hand side with Saka. You're starting to look at that and go, you know what? That's some decent depth they've got there.
Yeah.
So I agree. I think if they get Ivan Toney from Brentford, it's going to cost a lot of money, but that should be some real support. And I agree with D. I think having that different type. I mean, we've got it with Haaland, the big tall guy. You know what I mean? Bit of a powerhouse, and then you've got the smaller, more technical player in Alvarez. I think it's good to have that sort of difference. But
LB, is that better? Is Haaland and Alvarez better than Aguero and Jesus for you?
Yeah. Because I think
I agree.
Obviously, Aguero is your Haaland, but then Alvarez is better than Jesus. And you know what's funny, right? I remember going down to AFTV, and this was like just after they'd signed Jesus from us. And I remember I'm having a conversation with Robbie, and we did a video. And I said, well, you signed Jesus, but we've already got a better player in Alvarez, and he cost half the price. And he couldn't believe what I was saying. I was like, he's a better finisher than Jesus, and he presses just as good as Jesus as well. So the only real thing that Jesus has on Alvarez is the fact that he can play on the wing. But Alvarez is now playing in the Kevin De Bruyne role.
Listen, LB, you've got. Listen, I love Robbie, but you've got to remember. I mean, I don't know if you saw his team of the season so far yesterday.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I love Robbie as well. Robbie,
I love Robbie, but wow. I mean, he's put Saka and Martinelli in the team of the season so far. I mean, that was unbelievable when I saw that. Oh, there we go.
He's Arsenal through and through. Guys, I want to move it on from Gabriel Jesus. Guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream if you've not done so already, man. Over 200 people in the building. We're 18 likes away from 100 likes. So 18 people, man. Please hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And of course, check out the lads' channels as well. And more LB links are all in the description. Let's go to Spurs Villa, because I want to end on the City versus Liverpool game. Spurs Villa, huge match. And again, no one's really speaking about it, man, which is a bit weird. Maybe because everyone's focusing on City Liverpool, which maybe you expect. But this, make no mistake about this, this is a huge game. And for Villa, the prize on offer here to overtake Spurs, go into the top 4, and then really from that position, D, I'll come to you. You got to be backing Villa maybe for a top 4 spot if they can beat Spurs this weekend. They've got a decent squad as well.
But that's the big if though, because Villa away from home, so Villa's away from home, right?
Yeah.
Villa away from home is different to Villa at home. Their form, and that's the one area that I say need to improve on. I think they're sitting 5th right now in the Premier League. But if they want to push on and maybe go into that top 4, 3, which will be massively difficult because of the 3 teams up there. But they need to improve it. And you know what? This is a good actual opportunity for them, because when you look at Spurs, their injuries, their problems that they've been having recently, if Villa want to be a serious side, which I think they have been so far, this is a perfect time to say, you know what? We need to improve our way form. They are missing a couple key players. We know what we can do on our day. Let's make sure we translate this home form to their way form and pick up a bit more wins there. Look at it. Only 2 wins out of 6 at home. Brilliant, but away from home, it's different. If Tottenham
played AD, if they played good teams,
if Tottenham had the full strength 11, then I'll say, all right, it's going to be difficult regardless. But now this is an actual good opportunity, and it should be a good game as well, because Spurs likes, we know what they like to do regardless of injuries or not. They're going to be playing a high line. There'll be opportunities away from home for Villa to attack in behind. So it's time for Villa to step up and say, you know what? Yes, we're great at home, but away from home, we're going to improve, and this is our first step.
Yeah, Dan United. Obviously, the away record isn't great, but I mean, they have played a couple tricky games. I mean, they played Newcastle away, Liverpool away. Get rid of those ads. Chelsea away, Wolves away, which is a tough place to go as teams are finding out. I mean, what's your sort of take on Villa? Do you think that they can sneak into the top 4? Because if they do, that's a madness. If they get in the top 4, that's crazy.
This season, I think they've got a really good chance. I think with the manager they've got there, I think the points he's averaged since he's been there has been incredible. I think they've got a well set up team going into any game. It's just a consistency. I mean, for me, this weekend is more watching Liverpool against City and Spurs against Villa. For United, it's a brilliant weekend, because if we win with the games we got coming up, we can catch that pack a little bit more. Obviously, someone's got to drop points, haven't they? So with the fixtures coming up after us, I think this is a great weekend for United, as long as we can get a win. With Villa,
I think Dan, you got a horrible game, because Everton are going to be pissed.
Oh,
but Potts, it's going to go one way or another with them, isn't it? They're either going to be right, let's go for it, or they are going to be absolutely, completely bereft of confidence after losing the points that they've worked so hard to get. I think personally, Villa, if they go like LB said, if they're going to be considered as some of the big boys to be challenging, they've got to win these sort of games. This Spurs team that they're playing, they're missing a lot of players. There's no excuses. Villa are well-oiled, well drilled. We're seeing at the moment a lot of the older players that let Spurs down creep back into the team at the moment because they're having to play. So these are the games they really need to go and get the 3 points from. And I think what you touched on there with the games they played away, LB, as well. Obviously, Newcastle, Liverpool, tough places to go. Wolves, as you said. These games, though, when you've got that many players out you're playing against, you've got to take the 3 points, have to. And this is where we'll see if these Villa players can actually break them down and actually go into a game with confidence and be the big boys that they hope they can be.
Yeah, I just think that Villa have to look at this game as like, not him that there's nothing to lose, because obviously there is, like they don't want to be getting beat, but like just go there and just play football. Like don't go there and be scared, and don't go there and like be worried about the results. Go there. At the end of the day, that like you said, Tottenham have got some crazy injuries and suspensions. You know what I mean? Just go there and just play your football. And if they do that to the best of their ability, there's a good chance that they'll get the win based on the points that, based on the players that Spurs have out. But if they go there and thinking about, our away record's crap, we're away at Spurs, big game, tough game, then they'll probably freeze. Like these are the games for me which will decide whether or not like Villa get like top 5 or whatever, because everyone's looking at them saying you really should win this game, really. You know what I mean? Despite your away record being pony, the other team's got bare injuries. Like, you're not really going to get a better time to play Tottenham. Like, we play them next week. I'm kind of buzzing about it because, like, this is honestly like the best time to play them, really, isn't it? They've got no Maddison, Romero's still out, and obviously Van der Ven's out. Like, it's obviously a great time. So I want to see Villa go there and take it to them. They got smacked up off Newcastle first day of the season. This is if they go and get the win, they'll be on what 26, 7, 8 points. They'll only be 1 point behind Liverpool. And of course, if Liverpool get beat off City on Saturday, then that's pretty mad. After 13 games to be a couple of points away from the top of the table, that's a wild one. But Dan,
Well, are you worried? Are you worried? There might be You're talking about Arsenal, Liverpool next week. You know, Villa's in the title race.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know about that. But listen, I was saying, about Spurs the other day. I think Spurs are in like a bit of a troubled situation. Everyone's looking at the short term, right? Everyone's looking at the short term and going, "Oh, how great is it under Ange Postecoglou? Ange Postecoglou, that new stadium. It's all great. Oh, no one expected us to be top 4. Maybe we'll finish in the top 5. Great, and then we can kick on, right?" If actually you just deep something for a second, look at the table. Let me bring the table up here. Provided City don't get found guilty and kicked out of the league, City not going anywhere, right? Liverpool not going anywhere. Arsenal not going anywhere. Villa are not going anywhere. They're only going to get better. They've got a lot of money, and they've got, in my opinion, the 3rd best manager in the league. Man United, as bad as they are, they spend too much money to go anywhere.
Thanks,
Newcastle.
This is because it's my birthday, isn't it? This is because it's my birthday. You completely, normally you absolutely butcher me, so I appreciate that. Carry on.
No, that's as nasty as it's going to get. Newcastle are not going anywhere. Chelsea are not going to go anywhere. They're going to get better.
What's wrong with relegation, by the way? Wait, what do you mean by not going anywhere? I'm confused.
Well, what I'm talking about is these teams, D, have got money behind them. City are backed by money. Liverpool have cash and a better manager. Arsenal have cash and are doing well. Villa have cash. United have cash. Newcastle have cash. Chelsea have cash. I'm not saying Tottenham are skint. I'm just looking at it thinking, out of all the teams there, I'm looking at Spurs and saying, They to me look like the ones that are going to fall if anyone's going to fall out the next few years. I just think medium to long term, man.
Have you seen Spurs' next few fixtures as well? Their next few fixtures are dangerous for them as well. They got some tough fixtures coming up with all these injuries.
Yeah, look at that.
I just want to say that I knew this was going to happen at some stage. Tottenham's first 11. I said that Tottenham would not be in a title race. It's the shortest title race in history that I've known about. I know Tottenham fans will say, "Oh, it's because you're an Arsenal fan." I think Tottenham have got a very good first 11, but I think Tottenham have got a lot of problems and they've got injuries. And they've got injuries at the moment to Maddison, Bissouma's suspended, Romero suspended, Van der Ven's out. They've got a doggy that's apparently a doubt as well. They've got problems, man. And they're clinging on to the fact that Son cannot get injured because otherwise they will not have someone potent in front of goal either. So they've literally got nothing. It's like paper thin, their squad. So
they've got Eric Dyer coming back.
Exactly. They're an injury away from Eric Dyer. They're an injury away from Højbjerg and Skip. They're an injury away from Richarlison up front. It's poor, man. So for me, I put Tottenham in 5th and I'm going to keep them in 5th, but they could slip out of that even. As for Aston Villa, I don't think top 4. I do think they could push for a top 6 finish.
Why? Why don't you think they're top 4?
Because I just don't think that they, for me, have enough consistency from what I've seen with a couple of their injuries to go for top 4 ahead of the likes of a Newcastle. Or, let's be real, I mean, for me, City, Arsenal, Liverpool definitely are in the top 3. I think. I'd be shocked if City were outside of the top 3, Arsenal were outside the top 3, or Liverpool were outside the top 3. So there's a definite place for Villa. I just don't feel like they'll get ahead of Newcastle.
All right, let me ask you a question. Okay, let me ask you a question. If Aston Villa beat Spurs this is ifs, right? But if Aston Villa beat Spurs this weekend, they go to 28 points.
Yeah.
Newcastle play Chelsea. Let's just say Chelsea get a win. That's 8 points. 8 points ahead Villa will be of Newcastle. Would you still be backing Newcastle to claw that back?
Yeah, because I think when Newcastle get their injuries back and their players back, they are a good side, man. They're a good side. It was a very, very hard place to go, St. James's Park last season. And people are going there at the moment and still dropping points like us. And they have all their injuries. So I think their home form, Newcastle, will do well. Listen, I'd love to see Villa get top 4. I think what Unai Emery has done there is unbelievable. I'm with you, LB. I know that we had him. And we just had a stream on my show about who's the best manager outside of Pep and Klopp. Everybody agreed it's Emery, right? So for me, the trophies don't lie. This guy, he's better than Eddie Howe. He's better than Arteta. He's better than Poch. He's better than Thomas Frank. He's better than all the other guys because he's been doing that 4 times with the Europa League, right? And what he's done with Villa has been phenomenal. So maybe I've been harsh. Villa could get top 4. My honest opinion is that I do still stick with Newcastle. And if Spurs get their players back, I still think that Spurs might finish above Villa as well, because we've seen what Spurs can do with a fully fit side 1 game a week. So that's why I put them ahead of Villa. I think the Europa Conference League, they're going to go for that. And I think that might look at them and be like, trophy or top 5. What do we do? Like, what do Villa want? Do they want Champions League football? Do they want a trophy? Villa ain't done that for a long time. So that's an honest question. You know, Champions League is massive for them, but so's a trophy, you know? So I don't know. I think personally, if I had to put my money on it, I'd still stick with Newcastle for top 4 and Spurs ahead of them. But who knows, man? This is a crazy league. Man United could Man United are one of the more informed teams, and look how much of a joke they've been this season. It's crazy.
I can't say that though, Potts. I mean, like the informed thing, I just don't take it serious because of the teams that we've played. Like if you were to throw a Spurs in there that we beat, or if we beat a Villa in there, or do you know what I mean? I'd be like, yeah. But it lies. It just lies. I know you've got to beat who you are put in front of, but United haven't done that convincingly. The only thing I hang my hopes on now with United is in January we do something which we haven't done for a very long time, which is buy in January. But then when you buy in January, United are terrible at signing.
Got no money, mate. Got no money. Man United are skint.
Well, no,
skint, mate.
Difference, mate. No, well, but is it though? Because you look at the rumblings that you're hearing. Sancho's probably going to go. Varane, I don't sweat on the Varane thing. I think Varane might go in January. I genuinely do. I don't think there's something happened there. Well, look, he's been fully fit for the last 3 games, and he's been on the bench. He's preferred Maguire and Evans and Maguire and Lindelof. In what world does it work? So I think there could be something happening there. Now, the other question I wanted to pose to you three is this. If Villa continue to go on a madness and do what they're doing, is Emery's days of managing a top club gone? Or does a top club look at him and go, fancy
Arsenal.
He'll stay at Villa. Nah, he'll stay at Villa. I'll tell you why. No, D will laugh at this because he obviously wants to. He's, Emery, you come back to Arsenal. He will stay at Villa. Do you know why? Because he's got everything he wants at Villa. Villa are well run, mate. They've got a board. They've got a board backing him. They've got a lot of money, by the way, Villa. They already spent a lot of money. They've got a lot more to come from it. If they start winning trophies or they start getting towards a Champions League spot, why would he go and manage and try and do what he's already managed? PSG. He's already managed Arsenal. It ain't worked out. He's managed Villarreal and Sevilla. They're massive clubs. Villa, for me, I would say, is a better project right now than going and doing a Villarreal or a Valencia or a Sevilla like he's done before. So for me, I think he should stay at Villa, man. I think he's perfect for him.
I think he'll stay at Villa as well, because you got to think, right. Where's better to go than Villa at the moment? You're probably only looking at maybe like a couple of teams in the Prem, City, Liverpool. He's not going to get any of them jobs. Italy. And then Chelsea. Yeah, well, you get a lot of money, but obviously they're going to stick with Poch and that. And then you're looking at like a handful of clubs around you. I think that he's probably at the time of his... Yeah, well, exactly. He's probably at the time of his career now. He's thinking, you know what? I've moved around Europe all these times. You know, as you said, he's been at PSG, he's been at Arsenal, didn't quite work out. I'm at a club now that has a great foundation. Villa are a big club as well. Yeah, Villa are a well-supported fan base. He's got some cash. And the fact is, right, he could be like our Mancini. He could be like the first manager to win them something in God knows how long. So he's got the option there, becoming sort of like a legend manager. So, I'd be staying there if I was him. Obviously, if the money dries up and they don't give him the money to spend in the transfer window, that's a different scenario. But there's no signs that's going to really happen.
Yeah, they're building something as well. They're buying the players. It's going to take time. Of course, he would. The thing is with Emery, he's a winner. Like, he has won trophies. It's not like Arteta, who, there's been progress, but there's been no end result if you take away the FA Cup. So it just depends on whether he can translate that to Villa, which I think is a difficult task. And the reason why I say that is the fact that he's playing in the Prem. But then again, there are competition like the Conference League, so it depends on what he prioritizes. But I'll be surprised if Emery leaves Villa without winning anything. That would be a massive shock to me, especially in Europe, because I think when you look at what West Ham done last year with the Conference League, why can't Villa do that this year around?
So flip that then. So flip that. How long does he get with the riches that he's got for him to win something, or what is? I mean, what is the target for Villa?
I don't think there's a time scale. I think Villa fans are over the moon.
No, but what I'm saying is we're all giving him their flowers. What happens if he doesn't win the trophies and he's built this team? I mean, is there anybody else? Do Villa then have a problem trying to replicate bringing someone like him in? I'm not saying it's going to happen anytime soon, But it's something. If I was a Villa fan, I'd be worried. I'd be enjoying it, but I would be thinking 2 seasons down the line, is this going to be something that's sustainable, or could he go? Do you know what I mean?
You could say that for everything. You could say that for, I don't know, for whatever project that they have. But I think for Villa fans right now, I don't think they should be worried or looking that far ahead, because you live at a current moment of time. You don't know what's going to happen next year. Is Klopp gonna leave, or Pep? I'm not saying they will leave, but there's so many factors that could change. Is Villa's are any Villa players going to be wanted by bigger teams because of how they're playing? There could be a lot of factors. So I don't know. When you look at the next few years, of course you would think by then they would have won something, whether that's a Carabao Cup or Conference League or maybe even a Europa League. But till then, I think Villa fans, they should just take it game at time. And would you
take him at City, LB, when Pep goes? Because Pep's going to be going in the next 18 months, isn't he?
Is he? What do you know about that?
One way or another.
That's his hope, Dan. They're trying to manifest it. I don't know if he's going.
He said this is his last one, didn't he? His contract, I'm pretty sure.
No, you just imagining things. You just try to manifest.
Pep won't want to go down to League Two, mate. He'll be gone.
What about into Championship, lad?
If City were to go to League Two, let me ask you a question, Potts.
Whoa, no, this is a no FFP zone, bro.
No, I was gonna ask. Would Arsenal win a title before City win another Premier League title?
Every single stream, man. I can't even go one stream without anybody asking me about this, man. I thought
that's
this
the only way.
That would be safe.
That's the only way Arsenal will win. Yeah.
What was the question?
I don't even know what the question. Oh, the question was, if City were to go League Two, would Arsenal win a title before City win the Premier League again?
Surely, man.
You never know. You know,
I think Liverpool
Pep leaves. So I've written off winning a title until Pep leaves, man.
Even if we're in League Two?
No, until Pep leaves, as in leave City. If City stay in the Premier League and are managed by Emery, I fancy our chances. But Pep's just too good, man.
Yeah,
Arteta versus Emery. That'd be funny.
That was a low blow, D, man. That was a low blow. I thought I was safe in the stream. Well, as we're on to City, I do want to speak about the big game on Saturday. Before we do, guys, make sure you are hitting that like button for us, man. What we got over 250 people in the building. We're 129 likes. Come on, man. We can at least get to 200 likes by the end of the stream. So hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channels as well if you are new. Big up to the three lads here as well. You can find us all, by the way, on footballs12thman podcast. Various different shows. Are you out for that, D? By the way, are you coming out?
What was that? Oh yeah, most likely. Yeah, I'll be there.
Buzzing. Yeah.
Lawless and D without alcohol is box office.
It happened last time.
I'm looking forward to this with alcohol. Yeah. This is going to be.
Box Park. That was funny at Box Park.
Last time we went out, it was last year.
Champions League final, man. Champions League final in Box Park, didn't we? And that
we had that, but we went out last Christmas.
Yeah, it was last Christmas.
Last Christmas we went out as well, and then I remember just arguing with Lawless for 3-4 hours about West Ham.
The chat at the moment is mad. Lawless and Sam are just going at it. It's absolutely hilarious.
I know. I see it keeps on pinging up on my thing, but for people who don't know what we're going on about. Going to go down to London next weekend, man, and have a few beers with the boys for Christmas. Have a few Christmas drinks for the Football 12 man, and it's being vlogged apparently as well. So what's that? Is that going to go up on the main channel, Football 12 man?
Yeah. Sam will be vlogging it, so it'll be a laugh. And I'm
not looking forward to this, boys, because you know what I'm like.
Oh God, what is this? Anyway, that'll be pretty cool. Right, let's have a look at the game then at the weekend. Early kickoff, which Liverpool fans are not a massive fan of. Dan United, I'll come to you on this one. Big game at the top. Your two favourite clubs, Man City and Liverpool. How do you see this one going, lad?
Liverpool's record early kickoffs is horrendous, isn't it? It is a ridiculous record they have playing on the Saturday with the early one. It all depends. Is Haaland fit? Because I know on a injured. Is he fit? If he's fit, Christ, it's. City have got too much. They have got surely. I know they've had blips this season, but the big one's having Rodri back. Since Rodri's been back, you guys have just looked ridiculous again. I can't see anything else than a City win. I really can't. I think it'll be 2-0 easy.
This is Liverpool's. Just quickly, D, rapid. Liverpool's record in 12:30 p.m. kickoff last season. 2-2, 0-0, lost 1-0, 0-0, 1-0 loss, 4-1 loss. I think they've had a couple this season, probably wins because they've not put it on there.
Everton, wasn't it, for the one, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
D, what you saying, lad?
The thing with Liverpool is that apart from the Luton game, they've been solid. They've been solid this season. You have seen improvements there. It's a question of what's their strength. Is their attack? Can City's defense, hold them back? I think they can. They've been tested with that before. City should be favourites going into this game, but this is also a massive test for Liverpool. Imagine if Liverpool do end up getting a result, getting that win over City. I think that makes things way more interesting up there. And I think Liverpool do have a chance. I don't think it will be an easy City win. I think Liverpool have their qualities as well. I think City can just combat them. But I do think City are favourites, but I wouldn't write off Liverpool just like that as well. Because I think on their day, they are still dangerous. They have got weaknesses here and there. But yeah, it will be I'm looking forward to it. It should be a very good game.
I've seen this stat going around now that I don't really like, is that Jurgen Klopp's never beaten Pep Guardiola at the Etihad Stadium in the Premier League. And that's, 6-7 years. I mean, that's just a record to be broken, man. But Potsy, obviously a big game. You obviously been looking at it with a keen eye, keen interest on it. You obviously play later. Not an easy game against Brentford, but there's a chance here that Arsenal, if there's a draw in the game between City and Liverpool, chance that Arsenal potentially could go back to the top of the table. This is a big one for you as well.
Yeah, it's a must win for us, that's for sure, because of that fixture. But it's going to be a tough game. I think Brentford are a good side, but I do fancy us to go and take 3 points. I think City will win this, man. I want to draw because it means both teams drop points, but I think Man City got too much. Listen, Liverpool, I rate them going forward. I really do. But I do think they can be got at, Liverpool. I really do. And I think defensively, without a 6 that looks good enough, and I still think defensively they've got some problems. So when they were flying, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson were fine. They could do their thing because Van Dijk was mustard. Now, Van Dijk's been class this year, right? A lot of people have said how he's done and finished. He's been superb this year, right? But I still don't think it's the same Van Dijk. And he's not been since the Pickford injury, right? And I think Man City can get a Liverpool. I'm going to go 3-1 Man City.
That's mad. I've gone for a 3-1 City win as well. Here's a question for you. Sorry, D, you want to say something?
Yeah, I quickly wanted to ask Potts a question. If you had to pick someone to win this, as an Arsenal fan, who would you rather get the result, City or Liverpool?
Liverpool, 100%. Liverpool.
So is that a case of you want to go up? Well, I don't think if City lose the game, it's not like everything's over. But is it a case of you would rather take on Liverpool than City?
No, because I still think that Man City are stronger than Liverpool across the season. So I want them to drop as many points as possible. I think Liverpool can be got at. I'm not so sure City can. I'm only talking from an Arsenal perspective. Yeah, if I'm an Arsenal fan right now, I'd rather be going up into that game knowing that Man City have lost the game than Liverpool have lost the game. Because for me, Liverpool, I've seen Liverpool have bad games this season. They didn't have a very good game at Luton. They didn't have a very good game at Chelsea. They've lost games. So for me, I'd rather Man City lose this game. But, a draw would be good as well. But for me, Man City will win this one. Yeah, a draw would be amazing for us. But it'd probably be the one I would want because then both teams drop, right? We go to the top if we win the game. But I think for me, I think City got too much, man. I've gone 3-1. I just look at it. And the thing is with City, they have been a bit weird this year. They have been a bit strange. Like the Wolves game was weird. The Chelsea game the other day was just bizarre. We're talking about Liverpool not defending that well. Man City were a shambles at the back the other week. So, I don't know. Well, I just think Man City will have too much for him at the Etihad here. And it's not a good stat for Liverpool at 12:30. Klopp hasn't beaten him at the Etihad. I don't know, man. I'm going
Let me ask you a question that's sort of going around the City fan base about who should play. Winger options. We've got Grealish, who can obviously play on the left. Foden, who can play left and right. And Doku, who can play left and right. Now, we're going up against Trent Alexander-Arnold, who ain't the best defender in the world. And we're also going up against Tsimikas, obviously, because Robertson's out. Dan United, I'll come to you. What do you think City should do here? I've seen a few people saying they should put Doku on Tsimikas, but I guess you could put Doku on Trent. What are you saying? What would you do? What do you think City should do there?
I'd have Doku on Trent all day long with his pace, and he's just he's flying at the moment. He has got so much confidence when he's running at a player, and that's something that we're seeing at the moment with Trent's game. He hates, and Trent is so easily pulled out of position. I think if they put Doku against Trent, it's going to be a bloodbath. I think, obviously, Grealish. Apart from Mo thinks Grealish is crap, obviously, but I think Grealish is a great player, and I think Grealish in certain games is perfect. But I think when you're playing Liverpool, especially with how their defenses at the moment, you've got to unleash Doku against Trent. You have to. You just have to. I think Tsimikas is obviously on the left there, and Tsimikas is nowhere near the standard of Robertson. But I would really be looking in this game to isolate Trent. And I think we've seen teams do this so often. Teams like Bournemouth have gone and done it. I think this is the game you absolutely do it. And look, Doku, I think for his Manchester City debut season, I think he's been class. And he's still getting to grips with the Prem. And I know that's a term that gets thrown around, but he genuinely is. I think if you unleash him, I think especially with the players that they have at the back at Liverpool at the moment, you've got Van Dijk, which he has looked absolutely fantastic this season. Who do they play alongside Van Dijk? Is it going to be Matip that they'll put there? Will it be Matip if there's no Konate?
I think Konate is he back? Konate, is he injured?
No,
I'm
I
not
don't think
sure.
so. No.
So Matip then. It'll be Matip and Van Dijk. Yeah.
This is a defense. This is a defense man that City are going to have so much fun against if they play it right. But I 100% would put Doku ahead against Trent.
If you do that, I agree. I think Doku. I mean, I actually think Doku's class. I've been well impressed with him, right? But who plays on the right then, LB? If Doku goes on the left, do you have it on the left? But then who goes in the middle then?
Alvarez and Bernardo with well, this is the question. I was on with Mo today on the second channel, and he said that he'd play Nunes and Bernardo with Rodri and get more control because of what you're seeing against Chelsea. But I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do, you know, because for me, that midfield for Liverpool can be got at as well, you know. And if you put Alvarez and
is that even a wrong answer? Can you, like, if you play Grealish on the left or Doku, like, I think Grealish can take what we've seen Grealish against Trent. Like,
I agree.
You'll get a better out of Trent. I think Doku, it'll be similar, not because, they're fantastic attackers, but because Trent, we know that he's a liability defensively. I don't think he's an awful defender. Some people go over the top, but he's not as great defensively as he is going forward. So I don't think it really matters who plays on the left. I'll be honest, Obi. I think even if he'll get the best out of Trent.
Yeah, who's the strongest? What's your strongest front line? I don't know. You got such a lot of quality.
Well, it depends what you mean by strongest. If you're talking in terms of GNA, it's Doku, Haaland, Foden every day of the week. But that's not necessarily what could win us the game. You know, if you need a bit more control, remember as well, Jack Grealish is really good at tracking back, and obviously they've got world's best right winger in Mohamed Salah, and you might need that extra sort of protection. I don't know who's going to play left back. It's probably going to be Guardiola, but then sort of who else is going to go over there and help him? Will it be Bernardo Silva? Because if you have like a three on the left hand side of Guardiola, Bernardo, and Grealish, you know, it sounds stupid to say, but like that, those three should be able to deal with Salah. You know what I mean? Because there's three of them. There's three of them all there, so hopefully they can do it. That'll leave spaces for other Liverpool players, of course. If you play Doku left wing, he's not quite as determined to get back. We've seen that against Fulham when he didn't sprint back and they scored as Grealish. So
based on that, I think it's Grealish then. I think that's the difference maker. I think both of them, I think they'll get the best out of Trent if they were to face Trent. I don't know how Liverpool will try to defend them, but I think that's not a problem. I think you win either side, and then defensively now, who's going to track back? If Grealish does a better job than Doku, I think that's the answer then, because I don't think going forward, I think both of them are good enough.
I think Doku comes on then, man, and just terrorizes Trent.
Well, it depends how they're going, though, Potts, isn't it? Like, if Grealish is doing a job, tracking back, and City are winning the game, you might even not need Doku in this game. I think you can get the job done without him. So I think City is, you know, in that department, especially against a weaker defense, because Doku didn't have a great game, in my opinion, against Chelsea. And I think Reece James was a real test for him. But now Trent defensively is different to Reece James. I think Reece James is fantastic defensively. So, yeah, I think both of them will be fine. It's a case of now trying to stop their biggest attacker as well. Because as I said, that's Liverpool's strong point. Salah. Grealish, I can see him doing a job. Like, he's done that before. He's done it at Villa. He's done it at City as well in terms of tracking back. So I think that makes logical sense. And I think he'll go for Grealish. I'll be surprised if he doesn't now.
I think he'll go Grealish. Final question before we wrap up: is this a bigger game for City or Liverpool?
Bigger game for Liverpool.
Liverpool, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Especially with the start of the season they've had, 100%.
If Liverpool win this, people will say to them,
well, City's had one or two results that haven't gone their way that you would have expected. And if they were to lose this game as well, then Liverpool overtake them in the league. We've seen Liverpool and City in the past. I think it's a massive game for Liverpool, but it's also a big game for City as well, because I don't think this season it's not a case of, you know, City right now. Anyways, I know in the second half of the season, City will switch on and win like 20 games in a row. But right now it is tight, and I think it's a massive game for them both equally. I don't know. I don't think it is bigger.
I think it's big. I think it's bigger for Liverpool, because if Man City lose this, there's nobody on here saying, "Oh, City, that's it. Then they're going to win the league this year." But if Liverpool lose it, everyone will start to go, "Nah, they ain't ready to win this title." If they win it, they'll go, "Wow, they've gone to the Etihad, they've won, and they're scoring goals for fun. They could be in a title race here massively." So I think it's massive for Liverpool, man.
Especially you look at City as well. I mean, if they lose this, that's 3 losses in their first 13 games. That's mad, isn't it? That's mad.
That's why it's big for City as well, though. That's why it's big for City as well. I get the Liverpool perspective, but for City, like they haven't had a great start. Like we're talking about 3 losses. Like that's the expectation now for City. Like if they have 3 losses, it's crazy. But that's what I'm saying. Like if City, to be fair, maybe why Liverpool might edge it is because of the fact that what LB said about Klopp not beating Pep at the Etihad. And if they were to maybe get this result, it would be, look, you know, Klopp is actually beating Pep at the Etihad. He's got a result, and now they're top of the league. Things might get a bit tastier. But then again, if you remove that factor out of it, I think it's pretty even and important for both teams.
This is why, for me, I think Núñez is huge for Liverpool. And this is a question that Mo asked me today. He said, do you think this is the best Liverpool counter-attacking team we're going to face? And I just think Núñez, because previously they've had like Firmino, who drops deep and is more like Harry Kane did, sort of dropping in, whereas Núñez can just, obviously, because City are going to press. I think City will press, and obviously Liverpool are trying to hit us on the sort of spring. They try to counter-attack us, and they did that. The game that I look at is the Newcastle game at St James's Park, where Newcastle dominated the game. Newcastle had probably more possession, had loads of the chances, but didn't bury Liverpool. And then towards the end, a couple of just balls over the top behind the defence, Núñez finished. And that's the difference now, I think, for me, is that Núñez adds a different type of threat to this Liverpool side that they've not had in previous years. Yes, obviously, finishing-wise, it can be a bit hit and miss, as we've seen at Luton, but he's a serious player and could cause us serious. And if you look at Ruben Diaz, he's not the fastest centre-back in the world. He's not like a slow coach or anything, but like he's not exactly rapid. So that's going to be seriously interesting to see how Pep Guardiola deals with that. I imagine Akanji will play at the back. He's got a bit of pace, but yeah, listen, it's going to be a madness. What was your score predictions again, Dan? What was yours?
Me or Dan?
Potsy, sorry, bro.
3-1, man. 3-1 City, I think.
3-1. Yeah, cool. Dan United, what are you going for?
2-0. I just think that back four for Liverpool. I think with the pace you've got, and also with people, just Rodri is so important for City. We've seen it when he's not played this season. Having him back is it's massive, absolutely massive. I just can't see Liverpool going there and getting the 3 points. I genuinely think it'll be 2-0.
Okay. I think it'll be tight. I think it'll be like 2-1 City. I can see Liverpool scoring with the attack that they've got. So, but I think City will get the job done at the end of it. So I think it should be a tight 2-1. I think it should be a very good game for the neutrals.
You know what's mad, yeah, is how tight it is at the top. City could go from 1st to 4th by the end of the weekend if Liverpool obviously win, Arsenal win, and Spurs win. Alternatively, I think Liverpool could drop down to maybe 4th as well. If Tottenham win, and yeah, it's just a crazy situation, man. So
Tottenham could go top of the league if so. No, they won't be able to. They won't be able to.
I don't think they can.
But it's just wild. It's good though. It's good for the neutralized. We've got for now, anyways. It's tight until City decide to turn it on and just win every game.
But this is it again, though, isn't it, D? Like Manchester United could be 4 points behind City come the end of this weekend if we win and you lose, considering how poor United have been this season. So I said at the start of this season's going to be a mad one, and it's proven it, isn't it? Like there has been so many shot results already in this league, and what are we 12, 13 games in? It's going to be a topsy-turvy season this season.
Yeah, it is kind of wild. Well, there you go. I think we spoke about everything. Buzzing. Guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream, by the way, if you've not done so already. 300 people in the building. Let's get those likes past 162 people needed for 160 likes. Potsy, man, what's going on with the channel? Anything coming up?
Big up, man. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, man. Come follow us at Football's 12th Man. You'll see a lot of the faces on there, man. Tomorrow night, it's going to be myself talking Arsenal. And we've got some Tottenham fans on. We do like a North London thing on Thursday nights. So come follow that. Yeah, you'll see all the guys on there, man. Going on to the weekend. Football's back.
The vlog as well, bro. The vlog, man. The vlog.
Yeah. That is going to be out next week, so please make sure you stay tuned for that. It'll be all the faces drinking, having a laugh, talking football debates on camera. So yeah, man.
Oh, it'll be like drunken football debate.
Yeah, it will be. It will be.
Stinkers.
In there. We have to make sure that we can clip it out so it doesn't get like what do you call it, demonetized or whatever, or shouting and swearing or whatever.
yeah, true. D1, what's going on, bro?
Yeah, back of the nest, Crystal Palace fan channel. Also D Palace on Twitter as well. But yeah, man, I need to get back to it. I've been a bit lazy, but yeah. If you want, follow up and also make sure to leave a like here and subscribe. Let's get 10K for LB as well. We're very close to it, to be fair.
Yeah, man. What are we on? Let's have a look.
9.8.
Yeah, we're 140 away. 140 subscribers away, man. So yeah, check it out, man. Check it out and make sure you're following the second channel, by the way. Me and Mo today done a video on that for City Liverpool. It's a good video. Go check it out. Dan United, bro. Happy birthday again. Big up for coming on. What are you saying?
Thank you, mate. Yeah. At United First TikTok and Twitter, and then obviously with Mr. Potts on 12th Man most Mondays, getting absolutely battered and rinsed. It's honestly it's therapy. It's therapy. But thanks for having me on, LB. Love coming on and having a chat with you, mate. And of course, thank you for A, wishing me happy birthday, and B, being very gentle. I expect nothing but hey, when we get back from
it might be like 3 points behind him at the end of the weekend, or 4 points, whatever you said, which is kind of wild. It doesn't sound true. Like,
and actually, also, I just. Can we put a missing persons report out for Maz as well? Because I mean, I've not seen this guy for.
That is shocking.
I've not seen him for weeks. I've not, and I mean, obviously, I really worry about the guy. I mean, who they got this weekend? Who Brighton got this weekend? We might hear off him.
We got Forest.
Forest. Yeah. Oh well, there we go.
Yeah, it's funny. He was supposed to come on last night, but he didn't appear again.
He was at a concert yesterday. Monday night. I think he was at the same concert I was at. Yeah, he went 50 Cent. So yeah.
Oh man, I love Maz, but wow, like there's been some no-shows there, man. Every time we drop points, it's like, oh, I'm so.
Popsy, man, you need to get a grip of this group, man. It's on you. You're the coach.
I know, man.
You're the manager.
Man. Yeah, you're letting the players just do their own thing. You need to do Aubameyang. You need to get everyone intact.
You know what it is, though, Potts. You know what it is, mate. This is Sam's fault. He's terrified of coming on because he's worried about what clips are going to be put on about him.
Yeah, that's it, man. You get clips
Simple
up.
as that.
Sam is our little skullfuggery himself, so he gets everyone clips up, man. Yeah, man. Now, big up, LB. Big up, man.
Big up, guys. Guys, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you in a bit, boys.